This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all,
Just
this
stop.
is a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. We got Stephanie Jones joining us.
What up, girl?
What up? Looking good. Very sharp, structured.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I like structured. I like a good structured top/dress outfit.
Yeah, I shouted out today. I said I liked
I know
the
you
fit.
liked it. You saw it right away. Al Fashion Jackson. All right, I'm Sam in for Jeff. Now, a lot of people are talking about this. It's officially over. We've been speculating for months now, but it is over for J-Lo and Ben. Jen filed for divorce without a lawyer on Tuesday, which was also their second wedding anniversary. Now, she listed the date of separation as April 26th of this year. But get this, the divorce filings make no mention of a prenup. TMZ is reporting that the couple never signed one. This means whatever earnings they made during their marriage is now community property and could be divided up between them. So for Ben, he starred in the movie Air and produced The Instigators with Matt Damon and just wrapped filming The Accountant 2. J-Lo had her movie, her documentary, her album, and other projects like Atlas and Shotgun Wedding. Then there's the $68 million Beverly Hills mansion that is still on the market. And Steph, it was just brought to my attention by our lovely producer, Karen, that J-Lo is starring in 2 upcoming movies that Ben produced. So is this going to get messy, or do you think that they're somehow going to be able to work this out? What do you think?
Oh gosh, you know what? I'm going to hope the fact that they've known each other a long, long time. They've kind of been married, well, engaged and married twice now, divorced on the same day that they got their wedding vows. Really sad. I'm hoping that this will be as amicable as possible. I'm hoping that Ben will do the right thing, because I think J-Lo is the one who's really going to suffer financially very, very hard here.
Yeah, you're right, Steph, because in fact, you know, according to a number of sources that have reported on celebrity incomes, J-Lo allegedly is worth $400 million, Ben allegedly $150 million. That's quite the disparity, Erica. So you always talk about marriage and protecting yourself, right?
Well, when it comes down to it, marriage is a contract. It's a legally binding contract. And for most people, you don't think about it in terms of like, well, if something happens, then they'll take everything I have, because a lot of people don't think about their assets that way. For most of us, when you start to get into purchasing properties and stuff like that together, then a lot of the things that you're looking at a prenup are already kind of out the door, so to speak. So I think it's just important that it's a structure that when you're loving each other and you think everything's the best, that you're clear-headed enough to say, if this weren't to work, this is where I would like for us both to be. Because all of this back and forth and her pulling the receipts allegedly, saying that he owes for like vacations and all of that, this really could be circumvented because it's very much beneath both of them.
Right. I was really rooting for them, Al. You know, this is a lot of people kind of fantasized about like, oh, the one that got away. Steph brought that up earlier, and a lot of people kind of were invested in the relationship because of that. Do you think it was because that it didn't work the first time and it didn't work the second time because that Ben doesn't want to be in the spotlight?
You can't
I mean, we're
tell
speculating.
me that somebody that had 4 movies in the last 2 years, a Super Bowl Dunkin' Donuts commercial, and is producing 2 of J-Lo's movies, doesn't want to be in the spotlight. That was kind of
He's not on social media. He's not on Instagram.
I don't think it's the being in the spotlight that's an issue, because obviously he's built his career on that. I think it's he's out there as Ben Affleck, the actor. I think when she brings it Ben Affleck, the person, our private relationship, she did a documentary about their love story, and he is very vocal in it, and he's saying, what are you doing? Why are you sharing this? I think this is a really bad idea. And it's a really...
In the documentary, he says that?
it's a really hard watch. Yes. It's awful. And she's, wants to make a beautiful music album based on their relationship and how in love they are. And she brings to all of the record producers this box of letters and love notes that he saved over the years, and he gave them when they reconnected. And he was heartbroken.
Right.
And he said, this was so private, this was between us, and now the world has seen it. She said, it's the greatest love story ever not told. He said, yeah, but now you have.
I think go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I just, Steph, you're recently married. I'm sure when your husband-to-be looked at your Instagram, he said, oh, she documents her life on her Instagram. My girlfriend does not have an Instagram. She's not on social media. So I knew what I was getting into when I got into my relationship. You know what you are getting into when you get with a J-Lo or somebody that posts a lot, or an influencer, or somebody it's part of their job. And you also know when you get with somebody that's like, I don't do social media at all. And before you get into that relationship, you have to understand that you are now about to be part of that Instagram feed. You have to understand it.
But I also think you're thinking rationally. I think in the case of Ben and Jen, I'm just speculating. I think they have a lot of sexual chemistry.
Yes.
And I think the first time that, you know, helped their relationship stand a short test of time. And I think the second time around, they thought things would be different. But if you're not in alignment in many different ways in your life, yes, you can have a yin and yang relationship, and sometimes that works, but I do feel like that can be an anomaly. I think in this case, it was the sexual chemistry.
I have to disagree with you, Al.
I heard you make a noise.
Yeah, because I definitely was very much on social media. My husband didn't exist on social media. And in the beginning of our relationship, I was posting a little bit more about my personal life.
Did he like that or not like that?
He didn't have any feelings about it.
What if he did?
Also, if he had feelings about it, then I would have changed, but I changed anyway because I value the privacy of my marriage.
Right.
So it wasn't that he made any comment about it. It was just I didn't want my marriage to become the product. And for some people, that works. And for some people, you can monetize that, and all of those things
Taylor
are great.
Swift and Travis Kelce.
But ultimately, I'm not my marriage. I'm all of my body of work, and that's the reason why I made that decision. But if you aren't on the same page with your partner, then that's something that supersedes social media.
That's what I'm saying. There should have been a discussion, because he should have known J-Lo's going to be posting some things about myself and her.
Right.
He should have known that. So I'm really on J-Lo's side on this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up on DBL, picking sides. Dr. Frank Anderson
He should have known.
is sharing how to set healthy boundaries for screen time as an adult. And Melissa Gilbert is revealing her personal struggles with a disorder that she says made her childhood extremely difficult. Welcome back to DBL. Melissa Gilbert is opening up about being diagnosed with a neurological disorder called misophonia. So Melissa told People magazine everyday noises like the sounds of chewing, popping gum, nails clicking, and hand clapping would drive her to anger. She said she often felt like a bad person and sobbed when she found out her disorder had a name. She also admitted she would be triggered on the set of Little House on the Prairie if the other kids chewed gum or tapped their fingernails on the table, and would feel guilty for feeling so hateful toward her castmates. Now, we're going to use this as a jumping off point. Yeah, because hers was severe, but Al, you have auditory sensitivities. You get angry at Erica and I.
Tell us about it, Al.
Sometimes Erica and Sam decide to have a two-person conversation directly through my head, and their voices get in my ear, and like I think it, you know, speaking to, I don't know if I have misophonia to that extent, but I do think that some people's central nervous system is more sensitive, and like you can feel it in your body, like you can feel it in your spine almost.
So at least we now know what to call it.
I don't know if it's
that. You have misophonia. You have misophonia.
Because it's not just the conversations, which BT dubs, you and Jeff do that to me all the time. And I'm like trying to email and I can't even think because y'all's voices are in my head. But it's also, I don't know, when I'm trying to open up something during a meeting to eat.
Yeah, it bothers
and then he tells me that not only the way I open it, but that he can hear me eating it.
Yeah.
Because Erica opens it really slowly, which makes it slower and louder, and then she gets the loudest thing she can get, which is those seaweed crisps. And you slowly insert it in your mouth, and I can hear every.
You know, that I can understand, not with Erica, but when I used to.
You don't hear it with Erica?
No, when Jeff used to sit next to me eating his banana. Oh, I can't. Yeah, you. Yeah, you, Jeff. You. So I get that part of it. I do. Maybe I have a little tad of misophonia as well. Okay, we're going to talk about a new series on Hulu that delves into the secret lives of Mormon wives. It centers around a friend group in Utah who were rocked by a swinging scandal. One of the women broke up her marriage after she confessed to an affair with another member of the church. But turns out they were all swinging with each other. Take a look.
A Mormon swinging scandal has hit Utah.
No one was innocent. Everyone has hooked up with, like, everyone.
Taylor announced that the group was involved in soft swinging.
It was like swapping in front of each other, standing next to each other.
No!
Now there's a fight for mom talk.
You guys can't keep doing this.
The drama's now with the husbands.
The group is important to me.
Being divorced and taking care of 2 kids would be kind of tough, so you make the decision.
It feels like they're stuck in another era, and it's starting to tear the group apart.
Wait, first of all, soft swinging? What's the difference between swinging and soft swinging?
They were maybe kissing, or they weren't going all the way when they were swinging. And I only know this because this girl, the girl that was pregnant in this, the main one, she popped up on my TikTok and I'm like, it unraveled a world that I had no idea existed.
And they're all guilty of this.
They were all doing it, yeah. But then she somehow got caught up in some legal battle. She wasn't allowed to talk about it, and now suddenly there's a reality show. This was real. This got legal. People had to sign NDAs. I don't know how all of a sudden now they're willing to go on TV. Probably because the TikTok failed without the main one, who was the main instigator.
Wait, there's a whole. Erica, do you know about this world?
I do not know anything about
Steph,
this.
what is this world?
They're all really cute.
So they all live in a community. They all go to the same church. They're all cute. I mean, as you can see, they're all beautiful. And they started off doing like these little dances, TikTok dances, and then they started swapping husbands.
What?
In front of each other. So they all knew. They just didn't want it to come out because they didn't want the church to disown them.
What is it? Excommunicate?
It's like outer layer or something?
Because they're all Mormon and they're all very in the Utah church scene.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense.
What makes sense?
Well, just you have
soft swinging.
But it's just when you have these communities. And there is a sexual repression on your sexuality. You cannot interact with most of society that does not adhere to your beliefs. So you now have a very small pond to choose from.
Right.
So with that small pond, you can't go really across town because you don't really know them. You're gonna literally go to your next door neighbor because they have something to lose too. And this is, if you think about it, it is the definition of BDSM. It's repression of... What is
soft swinging and BDSM?
It is exactly the same, and I will explain my theory.
Okay.
What is that? It's really it's withholding sexual repression until you cannot hold it anymore. That is what their religion is. It tamps down every natural sexual feeling you have until you go over to your neighbor's house.
No,
that's what we are talking.
BDSM is a kink that is mutually with mutual consent, and it's not illegal.
This is mutual consent.
But this is against their values in their church. So there's something quite different than that.
Is it? They're still all in the church.
I'm sure they've gotten a talking to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I guess they learned. I mean, and is it really illegal if it keeps happening over and over again?
In their church?
The whole church is involved. The whole church.
It's
because they have a small pond.
And the women have more to lose than the men do. Heather Gay, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, talks about being an excommunicated Mormon in her book, Bad Mormon, and that she couldn't stay, but her husband was allowed. It's like this whole thing.
Wow,
so
there's a hierarchy.
I'm sure it'll be an interesting show.
Ooh, it looks juicy to me. Coming up on DBL, Dr. Frank Anderson is talking all about digital addiction for adults and how we can minimize our screen time. Welcome back. We all know that social media can negatively affect kids, but have you ever considered how it could impact your brain? Earlier, we talked with our favorite psychiatrist, Dr. Frank Anderson, all about how we can set boundaries with screens. Check it out. Please welcome back Dr. Frank Anderson.
Hello everyone. It's so lovely to see you. Better in the studio, but just as good here on Zoom.
I agree. I miss your hugs. Hi, Dr. Anderson. So everyone has a little bit of screen addiction, but how does long-term social media use impact the brain?
Yes, it's a great question, and I wish it was a little addiction, actually, because everyone has so much more than a little addiction. You know, these social media platforms hired people, as we know, to get us to use our phones as much as possible. Every time we like, every time we open a notification, they get more money. And this is exactly like the drug of any substance problem. So they hijack the dopamine system in our brain. So a like button is just like cocaine, honestly. It releases dopamine, it takes over our system, and it literally creates an addiction with our devices.
Well, I mean, to that point, how can adults set healthy boundaries with screens? Because we're always talking about kids, but let's be honest, the adults are the ones with the problem as well.
Right.
100%. We always talk about what do you do with the kids, but I think we need to talk about the parents. Like, how many of us truly set limits on ourselves? I think families, everybody needs to put their phone away before you go to bed. There needs to be a family stop time, 8 or 9 o'clock, where we're all off of social media. Do you turn your phones off and require your kids to when you go to a family outing, when you go to a movie? Like, how good are we really at tech-free weekends or days? I think if we can't do it, it's ridiculous to expect our children to be able to do it.
That's fair. Well, I want to switch gears just a little bit because it's back to school time and a lot of people are becoming empty nesters for the first time, whether they like it or not. So how can parents cope with their kids leaving the home?
So some of us are old enough to remember this commercial where the kid went off to college and the parents are like, yippee, I'm going to Disney World, right? Well, it's more complicated than that, honestly. I think parents have a hard time with their feelings as their kids go away. I'm supposed to be happy for my child. I'm supposed to be excited for them in this next phase of their life. But the reality is we need, as parents, to be able to feel the range of feelings. Many parents are grief-stricken. They're not going off on a new adventure. They're home alone. They have to navigate with this person, this partner potentially, that they have been focusing on kids for most of their life, right? We have to start looking at our primary relationships. And the other thing I would want to say is that it's okay to feel happy that they're gone. Teenagers can be really annoying sometimes, you know, like it's okay to feel happy, thank goodness they're gone, or really grief and sadness. Let yourself feel the whole range. You're going to be able to handle it better if you let all feelings have room.
Oh, I'm going to be a mess. And one of our viewers wrote in, Dr. Anderson, that you look like Jeff with glasses. And I can't unsee it. I cannot unsee
An AI upgrade.
I would say the same thing back at you, Jeff.
Oh, you cutie.
Dr. Anderson, we just want to thank you because, you know, this is the last time that we're going to be having you on. And all of your knowledge and your just positive energy has been palpable. And we adore you and thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
It's been so wonderful to be with you all. You do such important work. My heart breaks. I'm sad for what's happening here, but I am so grateful to have gotten to know all of you and the impact that you've had on the world. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. DBL Nation, you can get
He's a better Jeff.
Way better. Dr. Anderson's memoir, To Be Loved, on Amazon. Thank you again, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome back. If your bathroom needs a new paint color, you're in luck because HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams has announced their 2025 color collection. Are we ready?
Ready.
It is Quiet Tude. Oh, I blew it.
Yes.
Quiet Tude. It's a soft green with the influences of Blue Owl. Its cool undertones and classic elegance can add serenity to your bathroom. I think that should be your new bathroom color.
I know, but I would need a house to go with it, but maybe the whole house is quietude.
That's a good idea. Quietude it out. Yeah. Monochromatic.
Okay, I'm with that.
Hey, Jacuzzi can help you transform your bathroom. Jacuzzi offers an unmatched, stress-free remodeling process. Call 800-996-0017. I don't know why I can't say 7 today. Or visit jacuzzibathremodel.com. Before we go, police in New Jersey are looking for a woman who got dangerously close to a tiger at a zoo. So check this out. The woman jumped over a wooden fence, you guys, at the tiger enclosure and was seen enticing the animal. She even put her hand through the wire enclosure and near its mouth. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward. I'm so angry. This usually ends very poorly. Yes, for the human, but for the tiger.
And also the trainer, I would think as well, because the tiger's riled up and.
Come on.
Yeah, that. What are you doing? I mean, I don't know. Maybe some influences that she's under, but still,
perhaps.
no excuse.
I'm glad everyone's okay. DBL's new every day. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye, guys.